We are finally alone, you and I am. I have you all to myself. I possess you and I possess your eyes. Every time you look at my words and read my lines, this will be the last novel you read of mine in your life. For I'm on the brink of death. These were the opening words of the novel Antichristus by the Egyptian writer Ahmed Khaled Mustafa and the pharmacist that born on January 22, 1984 in Medina. The author, Ahmed Khaled, achieved widespread success with this novel, which narrates real historical events blended with fiction in an engaging style and a simple way of connecting the two, making it easy for the reader to understand and grasp the ideas. The reason for its remarkable success lying. The primary reason is the love most people have for mysterious stories, tales of ancient magic and jinn, revealing and uncovering them, therefore, they collected through historical stories and blended them with fiction. I have only a few hours left in this life. I don't know how many, but I know they are few, and yet they are enough for me to give you what I want to give you of conversation. Before I begin, let me tell you, you must read this book and then burn it. They will try to get rid of it and everyone who has to read it, just as they did with all the books similar to it. Do not disappear, just remember my words well. Even if they kill you after this, you will die content, and who dreams of dying content in this day and age. So, do not disappear, my friend. Me, where, why, and how. I know these are all questions that are going through your mind. Perhaps you'd like to throw this book away right now and move on with your life. But I assure you, to them, there's so difference between someone who bought it and read it and someone who bought it and threw it and then nursed it trash. They are exterminated, everyone. But its reader might have a chance to survive. Don't look at me like that. Even though I am a writer, I'm certainly dead. They will break into my room soon and annihilate me from the face on the earth, as if I had never been on it. Don't waste my time with empty explanations. Don't waste my time with empty explanation and talk. Let me start with you immediately, for there is no more time for you and me to waste. In this conversation, you will learn things, and then even more. You will like some things and hate others, but let me tell you something important. I will never lie to you. I will only tell you the truth that no one has told you before. I will teach you secrets that someone like you should not have known. And if I had lied to you, they would not have killed me. Rather, they would have rewarded me and celebrated me as they do with everyone. I know you are a bored person Either you are not a fan of reading, or you are a fan but you do not pay attention to books that are not adorned with the names of great writers. Therefore, in order to make you read this book of mine completely as it should be read, I invented a game for you that we will play, you and I, and no one will join us. The card game, it's not Basra cards, not tarot cards, but rather cards of another kind, a cursed kind, and the most important thing in it is the order. For if they were arranged in a way other than what their maker intended them to be arranged, they would just be worthless cards. I will place before you 13 sets of papers. Each set tells a story and tells a secret they want to hide from people like you. And they will pursue you because you know it, and because you are a bored person, and I appreciate this. Each of those 13 stories will be presented to you in a way different from the previous one. Have you seen how keen I am to draw your attention? And this is only because what remains of my life is little. And I don't want to waste a single moment of it in the wandering that your bored mind wanders in. And as you and I advance one step in the game, I will tell you more about myself, where I come from, how I reached you, who will kill and burn you after they kill and burn me, and how you can save yourself from them. But for now, I will only tell you my name. I am Bobby Frank. I see you have deduced from my name that I'm American. That's right. And now, let's begin our game, whose name I won't tell you until later. For now, it's enough for you to know that it's card game. Don't cards. And now sit quietly in front of me and look at the first set of cards that I will now place in order on the table for you. I know that the dim light I use in my room causes headaches, but never mind. It's necessary, and now let's begin. I have now placed 6 face down cards in front of you, and I will reveal them to you one by one in the correct record order. The order that will tell the first story and reveal the first secret. Follow me. The first card has an image of cursed devil with 2 horns, and he appears in his aggressive state. The second card is the Earth Magic card. Earth Magic is an image of light emanating from the depth of the earth, shattering several rocks around it. The third one, it's a magic spell paper, and on it is a magician casting a spell into the air. The fourth card is the card of absolute power, and it has a picture of a fist, a strong man wearing a large gold ring. The fifth sheet has pictures of idols on it, and it looks as if someone has destroyed it. The sixth and final card is the hammer card, and it depicts a strong man, a blacksmith, holding a great hammer and brandishing a teenager. Even if you forget these pictures and papers now, they will flash clearly in your memory as I recount the first story to you and the first secret. The first story, The Prince of Light. The daylight was created. In this story, the author takes the reader to a very distant past, specifically 2000 years before Christ, in the city of Babylon in Iraq, where magic first began in an ancient cave inhabited by Iblis. The author recounts the story of Nimrod and his marriage to Semiramis, up to his encounter with Prophet Abraham and his subsequent tyranny. Second story, The Sand in Nana. The author blends much literary imagination with the story of Harut and Marut. Here, the reader should know that the story of Harut and Marut is a true story mentioned in the Holy Quran. But the story of Inanna is entirely fiction and has been denied and refuted in Islamic law. The third story, 9 to whom we gave light. Here the writer moves to the kingdom of King Solomon, peace be upon him, and narrates two distinct periods. The first is the time of King Solomon, when he burned all the books of magic, and how the demons cancelled them under his throne after his death. The second period focuses on the time of Created and portrays the character who guided the 9 Knights Templar to the books of magic. It then reveals how the secret organization was founded by the Knights Templar. The fourth story, The Finest Types of Persons. In this section of the novel, the writer mentions the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him, and the establishment of the Islamic State to explain the events and the great strife that occurred during the period. The author mentioned its stages and details, as well as the role of the Jews in it. The fifth story, A Night from the Heinous Heavens. This story tells of a night from the fortress of the Assassins, founded by Hassan al-Sabah, and recounts his deception by claiming he granted paradise to all who obeyed him, until he commanded an army that knew no fear. The sixth story, read Dracula. After the story of Assassin ends, the writer moves to the year 1450 AD to narrate the true story of Dracula, historically known as Vlad, and his relationship with various organizations until Muhammad fought him. The conqueror, along with Vlad's handsome brother Radu, defeated him, and the falsification presented in the two famous films about it. Story 8, a film directed by a devil, a tale that recounts the revelation of Europe and the fall of European monarchies specifically the English and French revolutions. Story 9, O Elders of Zion. In this story, the writer sheds light on a meeting of Zionists in Switzerland, where they discussed a plan devised decades ago, reviewing its implementation and referring to the document that was later widely known as the Proclus of the Elders of Zion. Story 10. The opera tells the story of the end of the American Bobby Frank. Story 11. Blood on the Promised Land. This section speaks frankly about the Palestinian issue and recounts the details and plans hatched against it. Story 12. Hasn't the time come, my master? Here, the writer transports the readers through a fiction narrative that recounts events that took place after 9950 AD, as told by A.L. Jassy, who addressed her master, the Antichrist, stating that he conveyed all his orders to his loyal followers and that they were carried out perfectly by spreading discord and deception through modern technology, the emergence of which, according to the narrator, he played a direct role in creating. Story 13, Our Master and the Son of Our Master. In this chapter, the author reaches the final story in his novel, officially discussing the Antichrist, or the false Messiah, as the Arabs knows him. The events revolve around how the Antichrist appears and the people who saw him and communicated with him to carry out his orders before his emergence.